to. But let's get right to the floor show. Traders at the CME Group, the NYMEX, and we join Michael Church, Addison Capital Chief Investment Officer, who is with us right now. I want to get first to Trent Wagner in the pits. Suddenly the S&P looking at a clawback, right? I mean, we also are able to show the intraday that is to the right part of the screen here. Same with the NASDAQ. It's back up at the moment. What's going on?
You know, I mean, we had some decent data this morning, Liz. I personally tend to think, I know we are up on the week. We're going to close at all-time highs. I still think the risk near term for the equity markets in the U.S. is to the downside. We have thoughts of tensions escalated in the Ukraine. We have some serious issues going on in Europe. I believe that they're talking right now about more Russian sanctions, which could mire them deeper into some of the economic issues that they're having. And I just think that there's a nice recipe here. You couple all of that with the fact that we've come up so hard, so fast from last month's 10% correction. I just think that we could see the market dip down, the S&P specifically, below that 2,000 level before it eventually does move higher.
Okay. Well, Michael Church, I'm going to disagree a little bit with Trent on this at the moment, because if you look today at the trading action, and this wouldn't just be a day-by-day trade, you start to see that consumer durables, or things that basically staples, are all down, things you have to buy. But consumer discretionary, things you don't have to buy, like the Michael Kors or the Coaches of the world, actually look pretty good at a time when the economic data are good. We got better than expected retail sales, better than expected consumer sentiment. That's what Trent was just talking about. How do you view this as far as at least the consumers are concerned?
Well, I mean, I think it's very clear. The weakness in oil markets in the last several months is spilling over into consumer discretionary. And there's no reason.
In a good way.
Oh, absolutely. You know, depending on any estimate you look at, you're talking about $500 to $700 in the pockets of Americans from the savings at the pump.
Can we put up oil, though, and I asked for that because it's exactly what we're talking about right now, and the price and gasoline, too, while higher today. You've got, and for people who are driving right now, XM Sirius, Channel 113, thank you for listening in. Oil's at about $75 and change, still well below what we would have expected with all the turmoil in the Middle East and the Ukraine.
It's all about supply.
And how does that affect the consumer stocks?
Well, you're seeing the ability of consumers to generate a little bit of excess income, and you're seeing it flow through from lower gas prices. You've also seen an increase in wages as well. So the after inflation return to consumers in the last several months has actually been quite positive.
Peter Armandio, at this time yesterday, or maybe a few minutes after this point, a huge breaking story happened yesterday, and that was that Baker Hughes and Halliburton are going to merge, and that Halliburton wanted to buy Baker Hughes. Today, both continue to jump after big moves yesterday. These prices were beaten down, certainly, so it looked like a smart move. Where do we expect to see more mergers and acquisitions? Can our investor viewers make a play?
I'm not really sure about that, but as far as oil goes, throughout the night we had a big sell-off with big volume, as we've seen over the past couple of months. And once again, whenever you make a big low like that we made at 73.25 throughout the night, we had a big rebound to $3 from there. And with us trading up over $76 now, I would suspect that we could stall right here. And once again, we'll have a panic sell-off to the downside, because when you look at the long-term charts, when you look at the weeklies, look at the monthlies, it tells you once again that we're going to fall off pretty hard again.
You guys each get 10 seconds. Biggest event to watch next week. Michael Church.
I would continue to keep an eye on oil prices. I think we want to see them stabilize here. Any further decline, I think, signals weakness.
Trent?
It's a central bank dominated global place, so I'm going to go with the Fed Minutes Wednesday.
Fed Minutes Wednesday. Okay, and Peter?
With oil prices?
No, biggest event to watch next week that investors should brace for.
I think watching oil, because it's at the forefront of everything right now. It's at the forefront of them talking about consumer spending and it all being good for the consumer. So I think, once again, you got to look at oil prices, especially when we're in this type of scenario.
I am going to encourage our viewers to go back and watch the interview that we did at the top of the show with Richard Haass, who was head of Council Foreign Relations. Watch out for any moves in Ukraine. NATO has reported over the past 48 hours that heavy artillery, at least from Russia, have moved back into this area. It could or might not affect your portfolio. I don't know. Just be prepared. It's great to see all of you, our traders at the CME and the NYMEX, along with Michael Church of Addison Capital. Thanks so much. Closing bell, we're 15 and a half